like an apparition appeared in the kitchen. I am overpowered.
I'm over and beautiful, threw myself a funeral, so you'd have to bring me flowers.
You said save yourself, fall out of love.
With a kiss so poisonous, boys are delirious, lying on the motel bed.
Said I get sick of you, kinda always wanted to let me down this little dead.
You said save yourself, fall out of love. You said save yourself, fall out of love. And I'm drunk just off your eyes, smells the flies between your thighs. I'll shoot the angels from the skies, clip their wings and watch them die.
Hey, Spooky Squad! Welcome to Microaggressed the Scream Stream. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I've been looking so forward to this. I have three amazing people here. They've got great channels. I've been so looking forward to this. So everybody subscribe to all their channels. The links are below. You guys introduce yourselves.
Who's
Daniel.
first? Okay. Yeah, so I'm Daniel, whatever you want to call me. I don't really care. But from Invaders, we are a podcast and a YouTube channel. YouTube's been, over the past year, we've been really focusing on that. And we cover movies and TV shows. And I met Mr. Mike Harlow here through that because he watched it.
And you guys have to watch Servant. It's
you got
just
to.
a great show.
Finale's
Tracy.
coming up.
My name is Tracy Barkley, known on YouTube and social media as Keto and Krime. I run a true crime and dark history and horror movie YouTube channel, and I met Mike through YouTube as well. So that's where you can find me. I'm also on Rumble, sometimes on Twitter, but YouTube is my main platform.
And we met because of Scream. See, I only meet people through like my super nerdy interests. Max.
Why, hello, Michael. We have a very long history with each other. You thought you were a little bit of a cut-up a few weeks ago by making fun of Eliza Blue, but you're gonna be cut up and mashed all over the place, and your dogs and cats will be eating you, and you'll never see Scream 7. Okay, I'm gonna go watch the Golden Girls. Talk to you soon. I'll get Max.
Hey, how's it going? Ghostface.
We found Eliza's trafficker.
No,
It
it's
was
her part.
Ghostface all
No,
along.
no, Tim Pool is her Ghostface. He's that much of a simp. But anyhow, thank you for having me on your show. I have a movie review channel too. We do voices, as you can tell. We do Ghostface, we do Jordan Peterson, we do O.J. Simpson. Can't do Eliza Blue as good as Mike can, though.
Aw. I feel like your show, Max, is basically like Blockbuster, the YouTube show. It's just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So has everybody seen? Oh, and I should mention, because, you know, I'm an aspiring grifter and such, so send us your super chats. Check out my links below. If you like my stuff, support the channel, send us your super chats. So everybody, so everyone has seen Scream 6 by now, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't sure hope so.
By the way, you guys got to tell us all your thoughts too. Oh, I should say, so maybe we'll like be slightly vague at the beginning, but this is kind of like a spoiler show, so consider this your warning now. If you haven't seen Scream 6 yet, get the fuck out of here. I love you guys if you haven't, but you know, you don't want to be spoiled. So I guess we'll start with our like general thoughts. Daniel, what were your thoughts?
Can I give you my ranking now, or should I hold that?
Let's do it at the end, I guess. I'm excited for. Oh my god, this is like I'm in nerd heaven right now.
I'll hold it, but I will say I very much so enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know what to think because I'm not the biggest fan of Scream 4. Scream 5 was okay, but this one, it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a couple things that I will nitpick later, but for the most part, I had a blast. Yeah.
I should mention, by the way, I feel like we all have kind of different takes on it. So, Max, I know yours is different.
Do you want me to go then?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be controversial, but I didn't like it. No, I thought it was really bad. It just, there wasn't enough death in it. I think that, you know, more people were killed on January 6th than they were in this movie. There were a lot of leaps of logic. Remember that scene in Prometheus where the big donut ship is chasing the two ladies and one of them just kind of steps to the side and then that one keeps running and gets run over? I'd say that 95% of the decision making in this movie is pretty much like this. I didn't quite care for it. That's my summary of it.
Tracy, how about you?
I loved it. It has caused me to rearrange my ranking a little bit, which I will hold until the end as well. Loved it. It was everything you'd expect the sixth installment of a franchise to be, in my opinion. They went big and they went bad, and I will disagree with Max on maybe on the number of killings, it wasn't that great, but this was the goriest and bloodiest I've ever seen Scream go with the kills, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed that. As a morbid person, I really enjoyed seeing blood splatter everywhere.
Oh yeah, I'll get more into what I meant once we get into the spoilers. So it was a little tongue-in-cheek on my part, not meant to be literally, but
So
I
no,
sure hope not.
I started off on like Thursday and Friday, like Tracy, that I was like, it's amazing, and I still feel that way. But I have some issues with it that I feel like have gotten a little bit more apparent the more you go on. Sure. I agree with Max on the kills. Like, I didn't expect everybody to survive this movie. And it just got a little bit ridiculous that these people could get stabbed like 20 freaking times and then they're perfectly fine. For me, I feel like, and I loved it, by the way. Like, you know, come on. I mean, even there is no bad Scream movie. Even like the lesser ones are still better than anything else. For me, what was kind of like the worst part, I feel like, was the killers. How they were kind of just non-entities before the reveal. They weren't characters. I wouldn't even know how to rank them if you were ranking all the killers, because they were just kind of such not like, how could you even differentiate between them? They were such non-entities.
I do want to talk about that, because in this one they like listed the 9 killers before, like during the movie.
Yeah, the whiteboard.
Right at the whiteboard. And I could come up with who I think is the best killer. I don't know when you want me to say it.
Who? Tell us.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name, but I know the character. I gotta pull it up. It's the half brother.
Oh, Roman.
Roman. And that's not my favorite movie. The Scream 3 is not my favorite one by any means, but I watched every Scream leading up to Scream 6, like 5 days in a row. And I think he's the best killer because he's the only one that did it by himself. And he was pretty vicious with it. So I don't know. I just think he was the best killer in terms of just the fact of he was solo.
And like, Kirby gave him props for that in this one.
She did. And I like that. When she said that, I was like, yes, exactly.
It kind of makes sense too, since he was a movie director. He has like a Stanley Kubrick quality about him where he gets angry and micromanages and just has to do it himself.
Yes. Yeah.
People cheered when they mentioned him. By the way, I saw this in like a packed audience that was mostly like gay men and black women, which is exactly who you want to see a horror movie with. It was amazing. It was like everybody was cheering and gasping. Mine is Jill. I love Jill.
Okay.
That bitch was crazy.
She was. Yeah.
I'd say she's up there. I don't think I can really top Billy and Stu, but I think she's up there just for the fact that she embodies influencer culture so much. And they called it right at the beginning of influencer culture becoming a thing. And I could seriously see someone being that deranged and trying something like that out too. There was one guy who did try that, something like that, not to be famous, but I could see someone trying that.
Wait, someone did?
Not quite like that. They did try to like not get famous for it, but there was a guy who killed his parents and blamed other people. But I forgot which one that was.
Wait, I have to shout out this awesome comment, Daniel. You need to say it as Ghostface, Max.
Who gives a fuck about the movies?
That was the opening line. I love that so much.
That was good.
Yeah, Thank you.
So I guess let's start at the beginning. What did you guys think of the opening?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Like, can we say semi-spoilers yet?
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers now.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
The reason why I thought it was so good is because they took what they typically do, and they just kind of changed it a little bit. But when we saw Tony Revolori from Servant, when we saw him, unmask himself after he killed Samara Weaving, who I love, so I was bummed she was the first kill. But when he showed himself, I was like, they're showing us who it is now. It threw me for a loop. And then, what ultimately happens, then someone else kills him. And it's just like, wow, that was a really strong start. I really like the start a lot.
That threw me for a loop too. I saw it in 3D, by the way. So it was just,
Nice.
It was right here in front of me.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the 3D? I felt like it didn't really add anything.
It didn't really do much for me for the movie. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying it's a criticism. I have trouble watching 3D movies. They just make me feel disoriented, but it was the only one that was available for me to watch. I actually had a migraine, so that was the only thing that was there when it cleared. But it looked like a perfectly good movie. I'll say something positive about it. It's very competently directed. It looked decent in 3D. It does hurt my eyes. So if I could sit through it without taking the glasses off, I think that says something about the quality of it. I mean that seriously. What I thought about the opening was I kind of liked it. I really wish it went further with that concept throughout a large chunk of the movie where we know who the killer is. I was a little disappointed by the fact that it was a teacher who taught slasher movies, getting the knife, or so to speak, because I feel like any slasher movie aficionado would have seen that coming a mile away. And I'm not saying this just is one single.
Or any New Yorker.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's an out-of-towner. She doesn't know better. So you have to give her that. I will give her that. But I was like, I felt that could have been like she could have been some artsy-fartsy movie buff type, who doesn't like slasher movies. And then, like he said, I think that could be like a great Ghostface one-liner, speaking of opening kills. And you could say something like, it's too bad you taught lesbian dance theory on film instead of slashers, and just takes her out or something like that. I think that could have been good for a one-liner. And that's a minor caveat. Like, I think that's a minor thing, but I thought that was a canary in the coal mine. It didn't quite ruin it for me. And I think it was competently done. But I wish it went further with that, because I think that if the movie went further with that, I would have been a lot more intrigued by it. I think it could have had that ticking time bomb sort of thing going on that Hitchcock has talked about, where the characters don't know the bomb is in the room with them and they're carrying on, and maybe they're going down the wrong clue path or everything, trying to track down the killer while this guy's taking them out. I would have liked to see more of that. Maybe in the sequel they'll do more of it, but I really was intrigued, and I did like it, but I just had that caveat where it hurt my suspension of disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing that I've always wanted to see in a Scream movie is conflicting ghost faces. I think it would have been cool if they revealed one at the beginning, kept him through the whole movie, and then the other ghost face, we don't know who it is until the end, and they're not working together, which is very contrived and convoluted, but this movie was anyway. But if they're not working together, they have conflicting motives. I thought that would be cool. I have to say hi, by the way, to my beautiful Scream queen, Ben the Beardiful. Thanks for being here, baby. Hey, Dylan. Dylan says, best opening since 2, but nobody beats Drew. True. The 3D was different, but a cool different. That being said, the movie doesn't need to have 3D. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like if the Scream 2 opening was remade today, Will Smith would have just smacked Ghostface. Get out of my seat, or something. I can't think of a good one-liner. It'll come to me like 2 hours later.
How would you guys rank the openings?
Oh boy, that's a hard one.
Obviously, Drew Barrymore's first.
I'd say so.
Yeah. And then Jada Pinkett for me would be number 2.
Then 4. Am I the only person who loves the opening of 4?
I love the opening of 4. I like the major meta, like the movies within the movies. I like that. And of course, I love Anna Paquin. So she was in it. So.
Okay, so that's the one where they kept like showing stab movies, and then it was like an opening of a stab movie. Yeah, not my favorite one, but it is different. I like when they're a little different. I just wrote down, I have an idea for a type of ghost face. I don't want to say it yet, because like a type of ghost face we've never seen, but these movies have always been like super meta. And what I really liked about the first kill being Samara Weaving. Do you guys know who she is? You fans of her?
I do not. I'm not.
I may know her. I just may not know the name.
She was in Ready or Not.
She's badass.
Yes. Now I do. See, there we go.
So Ready or Not is great, but she has like 4 or 5 movies that are just so much fun. I'll let you know a couple of them later. But the whole thing you just said with Ready or Not, Mike, that's exactly why. So she was the final girl in that movie. right? And then in the opening scene, she brings up Final Girls. Like she said it on the phone. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then I realized that she was going to get killed. And then I was bummed. Because I like her.
Yeah, I had a feeling going in that she was going to be the opening kill, but I was hoping. So that's the thing. Okay, that's another issue I had with it. That like they kept hyping it up. This ghost face is different. Which they've been saying that since Scream 3. It is never fucking. I feel like Jill was a little bit different. The
Jill
one
was.
before
Well,
were kind of different.
It was two sets of Ghostface in that. There was two teams. There was first Ghostface that we saw and his roommate that got killed by the Ghostface that took their place. So there was essentially two conflicting sets of Ghostface in this.
Okay, so like the Ghostface, the opening Ghostface was different,
Yeah.
but I feel like since then, I don't know.
So that's a good point, though. So they said there was 9 ghost case killers leading up to this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 in this movie, so that brings it to 12. Do those 2 count? Do the roommates count? Because they did kill one person. Like, do they?
Yeah, well, they were
count?
planning to go after Sam.
They were, right?
They were.
So
So
does that make it 14?
They were
essentially?
Richie's
I guess so. Yeah, it
roommates.
does. 14 that we know of.
That we know.
Yeah,
of,
they were
yeah.
Richie's roommates. I mean, it was revenge for them too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, Chad just point. Oh, which also parentheses, by the way, I have to shout out the lovely Lauren De Laguna. Click that thumbs up. Yeah, you guys, I'm so pissed. They have me so shadow banned on everything. So like, please do all the YouTube-y shit. Hit the likes, do the shares, do everything. Chad just made a really good point that didn't even occur to me. They never said that line in the movie. That's true. I didn't realize
he say
that.
something that he's different when he's on the phone. I can't remember that. I thought he said something like, "You haven't been against something quite like me before." I can't remember what that line is.
I
Chad,
think he
you know,
means
could you tell me
Kirby's
what it
line.
is?
I don't think she says it in the movie.
Okay, maybe they cut it out, but that's
This isn't like any other ghost face.
I do think that shows a little bit of the fatigue of the series, and I'm going to compare it, and I hope I don't take too much hate to this, to the Terminator franchise, because it's like every Terminator movie. It's the most advanced Terminator yet. Maybe will they find a way? Or it's like Rocky. It's like, Rocky, you're going to fight this big dude. Oh no, maybe I won't win the fight this time. You know, it kind of has that going on with it.
Terminator, that they totally messed up with the damn, storylines. I don't
Oh,
even
yeah,
get off on
exactly.
that fucked that up. Pardon me for cussing. But
No, that's
curse away.
I think it's not gone down the rabbit hole of being so bad as Terminator, but I'm noticing a parallel in franchise management. That's what I'm saying.
I have to say my Ghostface thing now.
Go ahead.
Different
Do it.
Different.
Bring
you
it.
just
Bring
sprung it to my mind. So like that is some, for the most part, every Ghostface, they're not the best at killing. Like people like to kill people, but people get away. And especially in this one, which there were a few way too many fake outs. There was like 4 fake out deaths. Like that's an issue. But
yeah,
imagine this. They do a Scream with a bigger cast, so you have more people to kill off, and the killer is like a killer, like John Wick, like he can kill you, and not that many people would get away. I think that would be like very unique in changing up how Ghostface usually goes, because it's usually just a normal person who isn't trained to kill, but they just have a lust that they need to kill someone. So I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if it was someone who actually like knew what they were doing. And yeah,
you would think the cop would would actually know how to. I mean, he knew how to fix evidence, but he didn't know how to kill.
Right.
That's what I kind of thought that this one would be like, especially the part that they showed in the trailer when Ghostface steps down into Gail's apartment and it looks so big and imposing, and then it's like this 5'0" little girl under the So they need to stop having these like 20-year-old 5-foot girls. I loved it with Jill, because that bitch was crazy.
Yeah, she was wearing heels too, I think. So just the character, I think. So
what's that?
Wasn't the character wearing heels too to make herself look bigger? And you see them at one point when she takes them off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it might be a movie mistake. I'm not sure. So maybe it was a movie mistake. I might be misremembering it.
Jill was probably the most surprising for me. I didn't expect her at all.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is like if the writing is good enough, you can forgive minor little discrepancies like that. But it's like, Ghostface, my gosh, he's tearing people to shreds, and everybody's just okay. It's kind of like the ending of National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon, where they're in the car and then all the people were killed. Like, oh no, I'm okay. They just show up in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, they show them getting stabbed so many times.
I really enjoyed parts of that. I have to say, I did.
There were good parts to it.
I'll tell you though, going back to Scream 5, my big thing with that was that in the end they revealed that, what was her name, Amanda? I don't even remember. I remember
Amber.
Richie, Amber, that she's the one that killed Dewey. I'm like, bullshit. That Ghostface she must have been wearing heels, because that Ghostface was almost 6 foot tall. The one that killed Dewey, and I killed Dewey. Fuck you, no, you didn't, bitch.
Wait, it was Amber?
Yeah,
it was,
That's
really?
what she said. That's what she said. She told Gail, I killed Dewey, and I get to kill you too.
She like picked him up by the side with the knife and
Right.
flipped
Yeah.
him over.
Well,
I could have sworn
I'm
that
gonna
was
Well,
Richie.
just like you have stupid ass Quinn
Maybe
with
she.
the veiled boyfriend, the big buff guy, and she's throwing him across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she hired somebody on TaskRabbit and took credit for a typical millennial shit.
Yeah.
Daniel
That's
asked,
my biggest beef with 5. They did Dewey so wrong. Dewey
Oh.
should never have died.
we got to
He would never have gone back. He would have kept going with the lady. He would never have gone back. They did him wrong. They left him broke, heartbroken in a trailer park, and then they killed him. Fuck them.
Also, like, wait, so it was an option in this movie for everyone to survive, and yet you killed Dewey in the last one?
Yeah, maybe
Right.
David Arquette saying enough, but I don't
Maybe.
know.
Speaking of which, Daniel says, anyone annoyed that all of the Fantastic Four, the Core Four, survived?
Or it sounds like a shitty Intel product. Yeah, I wish a couple of them got wasted.
My biggest issue. I mean, there's no shot Chad survives getting stabbed 10 times. Like he was getting from 2 of them back to back.
He's
And
the
it was
new
just-
Dewey. How many times did Dewey get hacked up and
Yeah.
survive?
But like he's on his knees, just literally getting worked by 2 of them, and he's like staring into Jenna Ortega, like, "Oh, I'm dying,"
Yeah,
and then he somehow survives, and then they make out. It was just like that one. Like I was sad when he died, but then when they showed he wasn't actually dead, I was like, "Oh, come on."
Well, think about it. In all of the Scream movies, you've only ever seen really Dewey get taken away in an ambulance. A couple of others, Jill. But even at the end of Scream 5, you had Gail and Sydney sitting there. Gail had been shot. Sydney had been stabbed. And they're just sitting there with those blankets
With their
around
magical
them.
blankets.
Blankets.
Yeah.
Nothing was being done to them.
They were magical blankets.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
It doesn't Ghostface go after the sister and stab her and twist it, and it's like, oh, yep, she's okay. I mean, I understand the idea was to use her as bait, but then that kind of fell apart, and it spoiled the ending. It spoiled to me who one of the Ghostfaces was. I feel like Patsy Ramsey did a better job of hiding who the killer was than this movie did. I'm sorry, I don't know who killed John Benet Ramsey. I just wanted to use that joke.
Oh,
I
it was
think
the
it was the
mother.
brother.
It was the mother.
Tracy's the expert on this.
Okay.
By the way, parentheses, hey, Jules, thanks for being here.
Jules, that's our Jules.
That's Jules,
Yeah.
Jules. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules. She is the co-host of Scene Invaders, which everybody has to subscribe to. She's amazing.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Jules.
feel like
I did. I've been binge watching you. Really enjoy your stuff.
Patsy Ramsey,
Really?
if she was Ghostface, she would
Hell
just
yeah,
be
thank
like,
you.
she would forget to turn the filter on or something like that.
She would
Like
write
the
the
911 call.
she would
but
write
she
the
left the
ransom
phone
letter
on.
in her own script on paper taken from the house.
I'm way too obsessed with the John Benet case.
I am too. It used to be Zodiac, used to be the true crime rabbit hole for me. Now it's this one.
Oh my God, wait. Jules has said that she likes my hair and she
Aw.
is the queen of cool hair, so I'm honored. Hey, Mike, nice to finally catch a live for you. Oh my God, we've someone in the Netherlands. Thank you so much for being here, my love. Dylan says, Chad got paper cuts and broken legs in 5 Cream compared to this movie. He's very lucky. Richie's lesser siblings have embarrassing levels of aim. They could have easily plunged into his heart. Yeah, why does they all go for the show? Nobody goes for the heart kill anymore?
Well, that's that's one of the dumbest things too. It reminds me. Excuse me, stuttering is kicking in. It reminds me of The Dark Knight Rises when Batman kicks in the door, Bane is there, and that guy just runs up to Batman with a gun and gets cold clocked from him. The guy's running at the older sister. He's running at Taro with his gun, and then they fall over the edge. I'm like, okay, well, he's a cop. Shouldn't he have had a backup weapon? And then he like takes it out. It's like, no, the time to take that out would have been before you ran at the girl with the gun. You know, that probably would have worked a little bit better. But
it's like in the Terminator when they kept trying to shoot the T-1000. You know, Robert Patrick, knowing he was just going to come back together. I'm like, quit shooting him, just run. It does nothing.
Yeah, I think
I
that.
watched that.
You know what the difference between the T-1000 and the Core 4 is? The T-1000 actually died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they shouldn't have all survived. That was lame.
I had mixed feelings. I really did.
When I texted Mike after I saw it, I said to him, I said it was so close to being my favorite one. And that's probably the only reason why it wasn't my favorite one. I love the first one. Like, it has a special place in my heart. But this one, I just feel like it was a really well-made movie. It was just really well done. But if they didn't do all those fake outs, it would have just mattered more, you know?
I almost wish they'd got Gail. I mean, I love
That
Gail.
too.
I love
Yeah,
Gail, but I really thought it was
too.
over. I had resolved myself that she was about to die, and then she
too.
survived, and I was happy. But did anybody notice she wasn't real upset over her boyfriend dying?
No, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was amazing. She was like, no, it didn't help him.
See you, guy.
Out of character
Yeah.
for her. She seemed like she would, you know, be that cruel to get a story, but not quite like that. It was, I mean, he seemed like he was like a decent guy trying to do the right thing. She's like, call the cops. He's being the knight in armor. He's keeping her safe. And then he's like, oh, fuck him. He was useless. I was like,
Yeah, he
wow.
just gets killed in the background.
I
Like,
love
he's
that
in the
so
background.
much.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like,
That was so Gail. Because, like, she probably doesn't give a shit about him. She only loved Dewey. She's probably, like, got 10 different guys. She doesn't give a fuck. I love that they made her a little bit here.
I feel like the dad in Halloween 2018 had more dignity when he died, and people just didn't even acknowledge him when he died. They didn't even say anything.
They didn't give a shit.
You gotta remember, in all the others, when Dewey was hurt, she would give up, except for one. She would give up the story and go with Dewey to the hospital. So that shows, you know, the difference in the level of caring there.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, the way Tara stabbed Ethan, though, those were killer eyes, potential future ghost face. I was wondering that. So we got to talk about, by the way, I don't know about you guys. I loved Sam and Tara in this movie.
I did too.
Yeah,
They are
Sam's
decent
growing on me
final
a lot.
girls. Yeah, they're.
Yes, Sam. I like how Sam's she's like vicious. Where Sydney was, you know, Sydney's badass, but she would do it in a different way. Where Sam's like, let's go, like bring it on. And like Sydney would like use her smarts and figure out a way to get out of the problem, but Sam just takes it head on, and that might be her genes, you know. Maybe that's why
she may end up being a ghost face before it's over. I mean, really.
They might do that eventually. Have like I mean, that's kind of what they did with Jill. Like they were making Jill seem like the one that's the victim and that the one that's being attacked, and she turned it out to be it. But they've never obviously done that. You know, the guy said to Gail, "You would have been a great ghost face," because
that was great.
Dewey was the fan favorite. Sydney is Sydney.
The sex
but
appeal.
if you turned into one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that.
The sex appeal.
But yeah, I love them as Final Girls, and I think I really feel though that with 5 and 6 they're trying to redeem Billy Loomis in some way. I mean, he's become like this Obi-Wan Kenobi character to Sam, and he's talking her through it. Are they trying to redeem him and make us like him now?
For sure.
I don't know what they're doing. I wish they would at least use the deep fake technology for Skeet Ulrich, and I don't mean that as an insult. We all get older, but
he's aged really well. I mean, he
has, but if he's supposed to be an apparition of his former self, you know, he looks like a decent 40-year-old guy. That was another critique I had of it from a special effects standpoint. Is we have teenagers doing all sorts of cool stuff with deep fake stuff on here. Blockbuster movie like this should be able to do a little better with an apparition of Billy Loomis. It really took me out of the movie just because it could have been better, and that's just my take on that. That's one of my other critiques, is that effect could have been done better, and I don't think it would have taken a heck of a lot of effort.
Yeah,
I'm okay with them redeeming it because it's not him, it's her vision of him. So I'm kind of okay with that. I just wish that they would do. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I can't stand people who want Stu to be alive because I feel like death needs to be final.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you guys
This
ever
isn't
watched
the franchise for that really lately.
Well, that was supposed to be the script for 3.
Dead. Not like, you know,
Yeah.
Kirby dead.
Well,
We got to talk about her too. But I don't know if anybody of you ever watched this TV show. It's called Revenge. But spoilers, cover your ears if you guys intend on watching it. But the whole premise of the show was like her father was betrayed and died, and she was avenging him. And then they eventually run out of ideas, and they're like, oh, actually, the father's coming back from the dead. And it was such a good show up until that point, that killed it. So I feel like death needs to be final. Once people come back from the dead, it just kills any stakes. Every death moving forward will think, oh, well, they'll just come back. So yes, thank you, Chad. Do not bring Stu back. However, what I was going to say is they should totally bring him back in a vision. She should have a vision of Billy and Stu. Throw Mrs. Loomis in there too while you're at
Or
it.
some kind of VHS tape, or that's how they brought Randy back in 3. Show them a videotape.
I would love that.
And they brought Richie back via digital video in this one.
Dylan, Conrad Grayson from Revenge was Sam's therapist in the movie. He was in Ready or Not too. He plays such a great asshole. I really thought that he was going to be one of the. I mean, before I went into the movie, once it started, I knew, but I really thought he was going to be a ghost face who was like manipulating it all. That's another thing that bothered me about the last 2 movies is like it's the most obvious killers. So for Scream 5, I thought it wouldn't be Amber and Richie. I thought Amber and Richie were going to be like the 2 red herrings because I'm like, no, they're too obvious. And then it's the most obvious people. This one, before the movie started, I was like, the detective is guilty as hell. And Ethan, I called them, and then I thought it would also be the therapist. But then once they showed Quinn's fake death, I'm like, no, she's not dead. It's her. So I really hope for Scream 7. Like, they keep saying they're going to do something different. So at least make it someone unexpected.
So, Mike, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
You had an effect on me watching this movie because I saw you predicted that Detective Bailey was the killer. You said that a few times. So I'm going into it. I'm like, you know what? He probably is. I'm gonna go with Mike on this. And then when his daughter died, there was a thought. I'm like, why wouldn't they show it? And there was a thought. I'm like, maybe she's not dead and she's part of this too. But I never said it to my wife, and we usually go back and forth on like predictions while we're watching it, and I never said it, so I couldn't really claim it. But Ethan, I had a feeling on him the whole time too.
Well, yeah, they kind of spoon-feed it.
One second, Max, I just want to say before she leaves, hi to my beloved Leah. Hey, love, just dropping in to say hi, and I love you, but I don't want spoilers before I see the other ones. Love you, Leah. I'm so glad you're watching the Screams.
Would you want me to read that as? Would you want me to read that as Ghostface? Sorry for
do it.
Hey, love, just stopping in to say hi, and I love you, but I don't want spoilers before I see all the other ones, so I can't stay. You all have fun tonight, though.
Also, we got a Daniel fan in the house. Danny boy.
Oh, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? That's my guy.
Ben says I called it months ago. It was the 3 Valleys. Yeah. I didn't see the motive coming. I didn't think they would be. Okay, so that's another thing that bugged me. So all of them were kind of just total. I mean, I guess not Dylan McDermott. What's his name? Dermot Mulroney kind of was a bit of a character, but the other 2 were just nothing characters. There was nothing to differentiate them.
Well, I called him too, just because that's the kind of character he plays.
Sorry. I was just saying 3 killers for the first time. You have an entire family of ghost faces. You could do so much with that.
Right. I'd like to see one where Ghostface wins. They could have done something to that effect, and it would have worked out. And that's a little bit of what we had at the end of Halloween Kills. And it seemed that this movie, from what I read, was trying to model it after that, which is good. It doesn't hurt to take inspiration from good. I think that's a good movie, or even a bad movie. You can find good things. And I just was upset that it was just pretty much the status quo. The only people who got killed were the non-playable characters, the NPCs. That was pretty much it. Nothing of consequence really happened. We're like, oh, maybe she likes killing. Well, we had that at the end of the last movie. I would have really thought this movie could have worked a lot stronger if it didn't play to what I thought was the weakness of 5, where you had 5 characters who didn't have a ton of personality explored. I wish they just kept it to the sisters, because I do think there could have been a lot to play with those 2, and maybe bring the twins back for 7. But I would have liked to see more of that. You could have had more of Sam's psychosis starting to kick in with Billy. I wish they gave her more to play with. And to the point of the other, siblings, they were all just doing a Laurie Metcalf impression from Scream 2. Even the father was. And I was like, that's one thing that I didn't like about this movie is I think a good sequel, like if you look at the James Bond franchise, is it's a remake of the last movie, but it's changed just enough. This one, it did that, but then we're Scream 2 on a couple of occasions. I'm like, great. So you could have fooled me, but then you ruined the illusion of the magic trick. That's one of my big critiques of it.
What were you saying, Tracy?
Oh, I was just saying that I called the cop too when I first, after the first couple of scenes. I had no clue about the other two, but I was just thinking that's just typically the kind of character, except for a couple of movies, that's the kind of character Dermot Mulroney plays anyway. I mean, he's always some kind of asshole.
His interviews gave it away for me because he was either high off his ass or he was still acting. But I mean, he was fucked up in his interviews. Daniel said, I called the slut being the killer. That is very offensive, Daniel. I was not the killer. I was not the killer.
Oh, did y'all get how Mindy, when in Scream 5, she had, the beautiful long hair, and then they cut her hair into a more of a, what I would call a boyish cut. And I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But she wasn't. She was just almost based red pill. I mean, she talked about snowflakes and called her, when Quinn said, oh, I'm just sex positive, she goes, whatever, slut.
Yeah, that's what, can we just appreciate, thank God the movie wasn't woke, it wasn't political, thank God. I was worried about, think about them doing a reboot of any franchise, it could have been a lot worse.
I've always wanted to hear Ghostface's take on equity, diversity, and inclusion initiatives. That's just me. You guys can have it.
He's an equal opportunity killer. He doesn't discriminate.
Maybe they, okay, this explains everything. He was actually, they were woke ghost faces, and that's why they strategically stabbed Chad in nothing places. They were like, it would be problematic if we stabbed him in the heart. He is a person of color.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
How'd you like the relationship between him and Tara?
I liked it.
Yeah, me too. I did like that.
I like him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's good. I like all of them. Yeah, Jasmine Savoy Brown, who plays Mindy Meeks Martin, she's in Yellow Jackets, and I really like that show. So when I saw Scream 5, I was like, oh, sick. She's in this too. So yeah, I'm a fan of hers. I like the core four. I do like them. Mm-hmm. It's just cheap to have that many fake outs. There were 4 fake outs. There was, Gail. Mm-hmm. There was Kirby, and then the twins. That's 4. That's too many.
I feel like there were more than that. I'm surprised it was only 4.
Yeah, I mean, other people got stabbed, but not. It didn't look like it was definitely fatal. Where those 4, I feel like it looks like maybe Kirby. I mean, she got shot. I'm like, all right, she's probably fine. But
yeah, we got to talk about. By the way, parentheses. I should say, since we mentioned Yellow Jackets, I need to start watching that because Daniel and Jules cover the show Servant, which everyone needs to watch. But it's ending, so I need to find a new show that you guys cover.
We're doing that next. Yeah.
Speaking of which, shameless self-promotion. If you guys like my stuff, the links are below. Support the channel. Send us your super chats. Help me be a better grifter. We got to talk about Kirby, though. What did you guys think of Kirby?
I liked her. She is in my top 4 FBI agents, and that's along with Dana Scully, Fox Mulder, and Clarice Starling. She is top 4 of my favorite FBI agents.
Clarice is just my favorite character ever. What about, I think Max mentioned it the other night. Have you ever seen Sigourney Weaver in Copycat?
Yes. Oh my God.
So good.
Oh my
God. I really liked Kirby in this also, and I think that's one of the reasons why you can't kill that many people, because there has to be a storyline to keep it going unless they do a full reboot, which they probably will at some point. But to have her come back with a reason, because she liked Charlie. I mean, it was high school love, whatever, but she liked Charlie, the guy who stabbed her. So she has a deep connection with this whole Ghostface thing, and then she dedicated her life to work on it. So I think it worked. I do think it worked.
Yeah. And I love her not at the end. You know, legacy characters don't have to be bad or don't have to die. You know.
Right. Yeah.
I was very glad they didn't pull a Star Wars with us. What did you think, Max? You hated it, I bet.
No, I didn't hate her. I just wish we saw more of her. She just felt as if she was doing a walk-on cameo in a TV show. And I don't mean this as an insult to the actress. I wanted more. You know, I was excited to have her back. I would have liked to see her more in the action like Dana Scully. Maybe we'll get that in the next movie. That could be a good one. What if it was, how do you say mano y mano for ladies? Or well, we'll just say mano y mano. I'm sorry if I offended.
Mana, mana.
Or is the politically correct thing like man X? I can't tell. But I know I'm joking. I wouldn't use that. But I didn't have a problem with her. It's just like she was kind of there as a fleeting character. I wish they used her more. That's my opinion.
I think she was in it more than I expected her to be. Like, I feel like she probably had more screen time than Sydney or Gail in Scream 5. Like, Sydney had basically the same amount of screen time in this one that she had in the last movie.
Yo, I tell you what, like, I was kind of annoyed that she wasn't in it when you told me, Mike. I didn't know about that. And when I found that, I was just kind of annoyed, but I think it worked out with the way she's in hiding. She needs a life, and I think it worked out. But I think she'll come back, right?
Oh yeah,
She better.
Yeah, she has to.
I just thought it was a little contrived for like, oh, she sends her love. It feels like when they wrote somebody off of a sitcom. It's like, no, yeah, Sydney sends her love. I just picture Nev Campbell off camera giving 2 middle fingers to the person. That's wild.
Well, Mike, you found an article saying Skeet Ulrich said that she was like happy with it. So
yeah, I hope that's true. I hope that's true.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
because like I am the world's biggest Sidney Prescott simp. So for me to say this is crazy. I felt like it fit her not being in it because they already gave her almost no screen time in the last one. I would much rather her just not be in this, and rather than be just like window dressing. Like, let her sit this one out, but they better bring her back in 7.
Well, and I like too, because the gripe wasn't with her this time. It was with the twins. You know, the Ghostface family wanted to avenge their dead son. So like, you didn't really need her in it because the other one is like there's always something that she has to do with it. Richie wanted to kill her for his movie, so this one you didn't really need her the way they wrote it. Didn't need her.
I would love to see the next one be more about the legacy. I mean, even if they take them out, you know, in some way, you know, the legacy characters, let it be Gail, Sydney, and Kirby.
Not Sydney. Fucking Daniel just said the same thing. Sydney better come back the next one.
I didn't say they could die, but start taking them out. I mean, eventually they're going to be 65 and not want to do that.
Not Sydney. Anymore. She's eternal. She is immortal.
Yeah, I don't know if
I think the next one should be about Sydney's kids. Bring like the different groups of characters together. Because Sam was a babysitter. We've never had like children in a Scream movie before, and have her as like the ass-kicking mother who's raised these like badass kids that can fight.
And get Patrick Dempsey back in as Mark if you possibly could. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, he didn't die. Yeah.
No, he didn't. They got married.
Well, they made it sound like she's married to him now.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Bring them back. That'd be cool. Yeah.
What were you saying, Max?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying I agree with these guys.
I liked Kirby though. Her hair was the thing that bothered me the most. Kirby and Mindy's hair. No. That was like one of my biggest gripes.
I had a really bad joke. Well, you remember the joke I made it on my show. It's about makeup. Should I make it on this show? And plot armor, that one?
Oh, bring it.
I hope this isn't misogynistic, and it isn't meant to be. But I said the only thing thicker
bring it.
The only thing thicker than the plot armor in this movie was Hayden Panettieri's makeup. It was just very distracting. And I love her. I'm just saying is the same thing applies to Billy too. I'll be an equal opportunity offender. That makeup job on him. Oh God, Ghost don't need that much makeup.
I didn't even
filter.
I didn't even think it was supposed to be him at the age he died. Like I didn't even really like think about that at all. And now that you mention it, yeah, I guess so. It was a little strange, but I do like him.
I like the visions of him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're cool.
So did you guys think, if you guys had to pick, do you think this was upgrade or downgrade from the last one?
Definitely upgrade.
Upgrade.
I have a vendetta against Scream 5 for reasons I've already mentioned. Dewey is my character, is my favorite, and I just think that he was totally done wrong.
Good taste. I think it's an upgrade from 5 also. I don't think I'll ever rewatch 5. I could see myself rewatching this one in spite of my critiques for it. There's some stuff I did like in it.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch it as soon as it goes to Paramount Plus, for sure.
I like 5. I like all of them, but I had some problems with 5. 5, the cinematography drove me insane. That everything was in like super, super close up. I'm glad this was a big improvement on that. One thing that forever bothers me about 5 is I feel like they kind of went along with and took the side of like the current day moral panic. And what bothers me about that is the originals took a strong stand against the moral panic of the day, that movies make people murderers. And so for this one to be like, oh, toxic fans, which is just an excuse that these horrible studios use when they put out shitty movies and people don't like them, that didn't sit right with me.
No,
Plus underusing the legacy characters. So 5 is like my least favorite, but I do still love it.
Yeah, I mean, no one is. I'm not advocating Ryan Johnson anybody should do anything to him, but I did not like his Star Wars movie. I did not like it. They made Luke was not Luke. It was just terrible, and fans have a right to be mad about that.
The next one I thought was even worse. I thought the Last Jedi was good in comparison to The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, is Ryan Johnson was given from what I've heard, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong on this, it's just what I've heard. I had heard that there was a completely different plot treatment for 8, and they let Ryan Johnson do his own thing, and he just screwed up the continuity and everything. And I do like J.J. Abrams. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I do like him when he's at his best. And I thought that 7 was him at his best. But then Kathleen Kennedy let Ryan Johnson just mess around too much. And then they put them in a box. And the original director for 9 was like, no, this guy created a mess for me. I'm good. Good for that guy for quitting.
Yeah. The best of the Star Wars movies, so except for the originals, is Rogue One. That's the only redeeming of all of the movies, and The Mandalorian and some of the TV shows that have come out. But that's a totally different. Those are actually ran by fans that you could tell.
You're reminding me how much I'm down on Star Wars lately. Like, I like Mandalorian a lot, and I still haven't watched the new season yet. I'm just down on it for some reason. But Ryan Johnson has redeemed himself. If you guys see Poker Face on Peacock, very good show. He created it and he directed every episode, and it's fantastic. Very good show.
I liked the Knives Out movies. Like, it is what it is. They're preachy in some spots, but I liked them.
Yeah, me too.
They're pretty good. The first one was better.
Yeah. I will never get over The Rise of Skywalker. It was like the Joe Biden of movies.
Oh my god! It didn't know what it didn't know what it was doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was like stitched together parts.
My biggest beef with those whole movies, and okay, maybe I'm not with the times and with the people, but through all of Star Wars, the Force passes through families into chosen ones. Yeah. And now it's just like anybody can be a Jedi, anybody can wield the Force. No, bitch, you have to be born of somebody that has the midichlorian content. You can't just do that.
I thought people hated that, though.
I hated that. I'm all about aristocracy in certain cases.
You're like, we're stuck with it now.
Here's like they did everybody dirty in the 7th and excuse me, the 8th and 9th one. They did like Emperor Palpatine dirty. So he's this guy who masterminded this complex conspiracy, playing all these political games in the back room. This woman is just walking towards him and his electricity isn't working. That guy's like, okay, he doesn't think, okay, maybe I'll back up. Like the most cunning political mind of a trillion people. He's like, oh no, I'll just keep doing this electricity thing. Maybe it'll work. And then she decapitates him. And
then like Snoke's, what the hell was that? Why did we build up that fucking character just to have him killed in like 2 seconds? It's like killed like an Ewok.
They did Finn dirty. They did Finn dirty.
Man.
The only interesting character and they were so proud of themselves. We have a black character, and then they turn him into like
Nothing.
Nothing.
He was
A
so,
doormat.
and that was.
I
it
was
like-
ready for him to be like Mace Windu's son or grandson or something. I was ready for him to come out with lightsaber and shit.
Like Seven set up so many good things. It was like an example of good writing. Like I had friends who were heterosexual men, and they were rooting for Finn and Poe to get together. They thought they were like into each other. I was like, is this just me and my bias? Like, no, and I'm rooting for him. Like Seven had so much good stuff going for it. We could have had a good couple, but instead we like said that Billy D. Williams' character is Pat. So it's like we had out of the image of Billy D. Williams being promiscuous at his age in our mind. Oh God.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can just see him humping the control panel of the Millennium Falcon. That's all I see.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, it's pretty accurate. Like, oh yeah, he's pansexual. He has sex with anything. I'm like, what have you done to the Millennium Falcon, dear? I hope that Han Solo wiped that thing down with Lysol.
Not to rant about Star Wars though, but yeah, I'm glad that with the Screams they aren't, because I was worried that that's what they were thinking after the last one. I'm glad that they haven't gone into
Actually, the
Star
three
Wars.
guys that did 5 and 6, they used to have a YouTube channel called Chad, Rob, and Mark or something. They did comedy skits. They're very un-PC types of guys. I mean, and then they just grew their internet following into a full production company, and so they are not woke at all. They are just tried and true horror fans.
It could have been really bad if you think about the types of directors that could have gotten their hands on Scream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
God.
not like this isn't flawless or anything, but it could have been really bad. At least we are not in Star Wars territory. So
Yeah.
where do you guys want it to go from here? What do you imagine for Scream 7?
Man, that's tough.
I think they're going to delve into the Sam's psychosis. I can see her going down a path and becoming Ghostface herself. Maybe not in the next one, but in the next couple, because I think they're going to keep milking it. It did $44.5 million its opening weekend. There's going to be another one. I see that, and I hope they do something.
Oh yeah, they're starting to. Yeah, they're gonna start filming soon. I heard.
Yeah.
Yes. Do it.
And I hope they bring the legacy characters back in and give them more screen time, even if it's to pass the torch and take them out. They do need to get an honorable death, unlike they gave to Dewey. They need to do the rest of them correctly.
Yeah, that's one thing I thought a little bit. Is like Dewey seemed like he's getting smarter and wiser, especially by the fourth one. I couldn't see him getting taken out that easily. But what I'd like to do, I do like what you brought up, like exploring your psychosis more. You know what I think could be cool, to your point, is what if Sam snaps in the opening act, not like with Ghostface, but she kills somebody just in a rage, like when Dexter loses and accidentally kills an innocent person, and Ghostface is maybe blackmailing her throughout the movie to help him out with kills and stuff like that. So she's like trying to find out who he is, but she's being blackmailed into going along with it. Maybe something like that.
Do you know what the original concept for Scream 4 was?
That Jill gets away with it, then she gets blackmailed in the sequel. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And,
really?
And Sydney has amnesia and doesn't remember that Jill was Ghostface. That
That's
was the
the
original
part.
concept for 5.
I'm allergic to amnesia as a plot device.
Yeah, me too. Good
Like,
thing they
leave
didn't
that
do
with the soap operas.
I mean, let's see if we can find some type of pattern, right? So, you got Billy and Stu, and they wanted revenge basically because of Maureen Prescott, and they wanted to take out Sydney, right? And then the next one, you got a family member of Billy, and then the third one, you get the half brother, who ultimately has everything to do with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it all wraps up nicely, and then the fourth one, you get she was her cousin, right?
Yeah.
Jill was her cousin.
It was her mother's sister's daughter. So yeah, cousin.
Right. So that's her motivation to go and take out Sydney. And then the fifth one, it's a new set of characters. But then the sixth one, it's that guy's family. So it's like, what could it be after this? Is it going to be
sister?
Yeah. It'll be
There's a
half
third
sister.
Carpenter sister. Oh, that's so what they're gonna do. That is so what they're gonna do. It's gonna be the long lost Carpenter sister.
It'll be something with the Carpenters.
Or maybe it's Sam going into some psychosis and going after Sydney because she blames Sydney for all the trouble in her life. It could be something as generic as that, but that would actually make a good movie.
You know who it should be? So I didn't realize this. Sam and Tara's mother should be that bitch, the true villain of the original Scream. That bitch in the bathroom who's talking shit about Sydney.
That would be great.
Yeah.
She was Hispanic. That could be their mother.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
She's talking about her perfect
Good
bubble
ghost
butt
face.
boyfriend, Billy, you know.
I think that was her.
Yeah.
Chad said so. Supposedly, Chad said supposedly Stu was originally meant to be the killer in 3. Yeah, so 3 was originally supposed to be a cult, and Stu was in prison controlling them. That sounds terrible.
Well, it was supposed to be the last one. You know, they were just going to send it out, and then the internet, the script got leaked onto the internet, and they kept rewriting the script to keep the ending off the internet.
Ooh, Ben, this is interesting. I think Sam is going to snap, and Sydney and Tara are going to have to mastermind to stop her.
Okay,
that'd be good.
Yeah,
Just anything different. I just hope it's not another one of like, you know, a 19-year-old 5'1" girl as Ghostface.
Yeah, I
Unless or Carpenter. You know, watch them for Scream 7 pull a Halloween Ends and be like, oh, actually it's not Ghostface. It's just we're gonna tell you about this troubled teen. Like Halloween Ends.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, the guy that Sam was, you know, involved with, they kept calling him, you know, next door guy, tattoo guy, whatever he was. He would have made a fantastic Ghostface because he had the girth and the strength to carry it out. Somebody like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I want. A badass killer. That'd be sick.
What if it was like Ghostface and he just got away with it and nobody ever found out who he was? Do you think that could work in any way, or is that just a crappy idea? I'm just throwing that out there. You can say if it's crappy. My feelings won't be hurt.
No, I would love to see Ghostface walking off like Hannibal Lecter did in the original Silence of the Lambs, just getting away from it all, you know, like.
Again, I really like the idea of conflicting ghost faces. So maybe they kill one of them, and then the second one gets away, and it continues into the next movie.
Do you prefer when it's only been one person one time, but do you think it like has to always be a duo, or in this case a trio?
No,
I think it always has to be that way. Yeah, me.
I mean,
either.
Roman was a single killer.
I wish they would do a solo again.
Well, that's where was it? Here, Dylan mentioned Angelina was originally supposed to be Roman's partner in 3. That version of the script, third act of The Mansion, was just disturbing. Yeah, and they gave a lot of her character traits to Judy in Scream 4. That Angelina was initially supposed to be like this old classmate.
Well, in Scream 2, it was supposed to be Nancy Loomis, Cotton Wearing, Derek, and Hallie, the roommate.
Not Hallie. I love Hallie.
Hallie was just, I mean, I liked Hallie, but she was a Tatum stand-in, let's be honest. They should have just let Tatum should still be a legacy character.
Tatum. I wonder if, Chad said, I wonder if Across the Building boyfriend may have been working with Richie's family and he'll rise up in the next. I was going to say, I wish they would introduce characters in one movie that survive and then go on to be Ghostface. So hopefully maybe he will be in the next one.
Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. Because that whole, you know what? Because that whole kill that he witnessed when Quinn died, you know, he was there screaming and screaming and screaming, but that wasn't actually a kill scene because that was a fake death there. So maybe, yeah. And he wasn't there for the final fight, so maybe they're holding out for next time. Yeah.
Let me tell you, the theater I was in cheered more than anything for when he had his shirt off.
And he wasn't really ever in danger, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. All right, that's my prediction.
Didn't he tip them off to the fact that Ghostface was in there, though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That was part of one of the plot things that was a little weird. It's like we found out, you know, that girl was not even, you know, she was the fake out death, and Ghostface is standing in her bedroom, and they know that there's that neighbor that can see in. It just didn't really quite register. It's like, why did you make a point of it to draw attention to yourself? Maybe, I don't know if I processed that scene right.
But that's what I mean. Like, he saw that. Like, he saw what happened. So maybe, like, you know what I mean?
You're right.
He never left that room. He was in that room the whole time.
Yeah, they were holding the ladder so that they could shimmy across.
But he got them the ladder to escape, so that kind of throws a wrench into it.
Well,
You've
My
seen
whole
that she
thing is-
wasn't really killed. I didn't
Right.
think of
Seen
that.
He
And
must have
also-
seen that.
He
Maybe
was
that could
holding
be
the ladder,
something.
and he was strong enough. Why didn't he just jerk that ladder when Mindy's
Yeah,
girlfriend was
that's
climbing
true.
across it and had her hold on, and then just drag her up?
Yeah, pretend to lose grip on it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, by the way, parentheses, let me just say, so I actually used to live on the same block that they had Gail living on. So when they're in the park, okay, this drove me crazy in 5, that there would be scenes where it's daytime and then suddenly it's nighttime and then suddenly it's daytime again. So they were at the furthest away around like 60th Street, 59th Street. On the west side, when they're in the car and find out that Ghostface is at Gale's, she's on West 96th Street. That is like at most with traffic, like a 10-minute ride away. But it goes from day to pitch black.
Yeah, in the old New York City, that would have happened back when it was alive. But today, they could have probably jogged there. But that was like one of the things too. You feel like you didn't see the cop call backup either. That didn't even set off any alarm bells with Kirby. So, and that's the thing too, is like the cop is kind of is going along with it, and like they know that they're going to find out that they're in Gail's apartment. Just it's a stretch and it's a boondoggle. That really, I'm having trouble processing that a bit.
Well, also, my friend that I went to go see it with, we were saying that by that point in the movie, even if you assumed that Quinn was really dead, that left nobody else for it to be, because you kind of knew it wasn't going to be the neighbor. Like, they weren't going to have it be her boyfriend 2 movies in a row. So that only left 2 people. That only left the detective and Ethan.
Yeah, unless there's a 4th person we don't know about. And I know we're all going to probably groan about it, but they have that little line in there that she says, what's her name? Kirby says, she's like, yeah, if you think he's really dead of Stu. I'm like, oh Christ, no, please. No.
I thought it was funny that they referred to it, as long as they don't actually do it.
I don't know if they were taking the temperature. That's what it felt like it was there for. It didn't feel like it was there for the story. It felt like it was there to take the temperature, just the delivery.
I hope not.
I hope the temperature is cold on that one. You guys made a good point. Just don't bring him back.
No offense, but if you wonder about how Skeet Ulrich has aged, don't look at Matthew Lillard.
I don't care about how they aged. I mean, we all get older. It happens. I'm just saying, is if you're going to be an apparition, use the CGI or something. And it seemed like they tried to do that in the last one. Then this one, they just didn't really put that much effort into it for reasons I don't understand. Maybe there's something that didn't go right with the effects, so they just had to go that way. So maybe in their defense, that could have happened. But it was
just
really,
use the Scream 4 filter. Use the Scream 4 filter.
The Carrie Lake filter. I would love to see Carrie Lake go up against Ghostface. I feel like she'd give him a whooping.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
She's like, "Oh, you broke into my house? Well, this is a red state," and she takes out the gun. She goes, like, you can picture Carrie Lake saying that, and she goes, "Your life is going to go by you like a big blur, just like one of my backgrounds." I feel like Carrie Lake would be Ghost. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I know. At least in this one, somebody had a gun. At least Gail had a freaking gun. No one ever has a gun. Of course, it's California. No one ever has a gun.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is I was like, I understand that the FBI agent doesn't want the teeny boppers to have guns, but they couldn't have stopped at the sporting goods store before they made their kill box. Like that. That was the other thing too. Is like they have that beautiful taser at the beginning of the movie. They're like, oh, Ghostface is back. Let's just go out without the taser. All right. It was just, it's like only like creepy guy at party gets tased. Ghostface, okay. It's like, they've had almost 30 years of fighting Ghostface. Laurie Strode goes against Michael Myers once for a few minutes, and she turns into Sarah Connor. These people turn into Bob Ross.
Ben is completely right. Can you please hold? Best line. Yeah. Oh,
that was really good.
He did that.
Yeah, it's good because honestly, that's the perfect way to say "fuck you" to Ghostface.
That was so good. Oh, also, I was dying when she was like, "Tell Sydney he never got me."
Yeah.
When they said, I really thought she was going. When they said there's a slight pulse, the theater erupted in cheers.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. I'm just really glad that they gave Roger L. Jackson like billing as Ghostface in this one. They never do. He's just the voice.
Yeah, there would be no. Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit. There would be no series without him.
Was he doing the James Earl Jones thing where he didn't want you to didn't want to be a distraction? Because I know it's like James Earl Jones for the longest time refused to be credited as Darth Vader. Did he have that sort of mentality for a while? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I know that he's never met up until like Scream 4. He never met any of the like on camera people.
Mhm.
Like he would just record his stuff and send it in. And so he had never met them until like Scream 5 when he finally met everybody face to face.
You know what I loved, by the way, parentheses, I saw in the, I think it was the train scene, the coolest Easter egg in the movie. They had the freaking Brandon James mask from the TV series. Did anybody watch the TV series?
I did. I love the TV series.
I loved, so they had two versions of it. They had like the first 2 seasons and then they rebooted it for the third, which was horrible. But the first 2 really, it was terrible, but it grew on me. I wish it wasn't called Scream because it wasn't Scream. It wasn't connected to the movies. I feel like it could have had a longer run if they gave it a different name. But they had the mask from it in the train scene.
I like that train scene a lot.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
They did a really good job, I have to say, for not filming in New York. There were a lot of scenes like there were different moments where they had like what the skyline would look like from the block that they were. It looked really good. Because I thought they did a terrible job with recreating the house in the last one. It looked like it was made out of cardboard.
They did a better job with New York in this one than they did in Jason Takes Manhattan.
And they were both. Oh, sorry.
Jason takes the boat to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. The only thing I like about that movie is the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do like the idea. I feel bad because they didn't really even do anything. The only thing I like about that is, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the boombox era when people just pissed you off with their boomboxes. Jason pissing off the guy, going after the guys with the boomboxes, taking his mask off. I like that.
And I like when the little boxing match between him and the boxing dude when he knocked his head off. That to me is the standout scene of that whole movie.
I never really got into the Friday the 13th series though. That's the one that I don't know.
Oh, they're just wicked fun. You know they're going to be bad, but they're just wicked fun.
There's a documentary you need to see on Netflix, or excuse me, on Tubi. It's like called Direct to Video, and there's basically like a whole crop market in the 80s and 90s for really bad movies that were just direct to VHS, and they knew they were bad movies, but they gave them all the effort possible. And I think that Friday the 13th kind of fits into the universe. Would you say so, Tracy? Would you think so? Yeah,
definitely.
I was always more into like Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I love all of those.
Me too.
The only horror franchise I really don't get into is Saw, and I liked the first 2, but after that it just became just grotesque. I mean, it really wasn't scary anymore after that.
And it was such a soap opera.
Mm.
You know what was a really big letdown? I went to go see that Spiral.
Yeah.
So I heard that was like the worst version of like this is something different because I thought, oh, Chris Rock is writing a Saw movie, like there's got to be a reason. It has to be something like really unique. And then it was just the most milquetoast thing imaginable.
I thought it was okay. I liked it. I think he did a good job with it. It's not the best one, but it's better than most of the Saw movies. I'd rewatch it.
It was just so average.
But
I tell you who does a good horror movies, Jordan Peele.
Oh my God.
All of them. Anything he does.
Get Out.
I just love Jordan Peele.
I haven't seen Nope yet.
Nope
is fantastic.
It's my second favorite movie of the year. It was, I completely loved it. Sci-fi is like my favorite. So,
oh really?
It was incredible. I'm a huge fan of his movies. Yeah, I thought it was great. It was pretty divisive. Not everyone liked it.
That makes me want. You know what's another one that I've heard is very divisive, and I haven't seen it yet. Infinity Pool.
Didn't see that, but I heard it's very strange. That's what I heard.
Chat. Let us know if you guys have seen Infinity Pool.
Chat has seen Infinity.
But somebody told me, our friend told me not to, because my mom is staying with me this week.
Oh yes.
Somebody told me don't watch that with your mom because I made the mistake of watching that movie X with my parents. I wanted to crawl under the table and die.
Jenna Ortega, she was in that.
Yes, it was really good, but it was incredible. Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Cool.
I've heard it's very disturbing.
Well, since we're all Scream fans, did you guys like any of the what I call the Scream knockoffs of the 90s? Like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. That's
I Still Know.
Pleasure. And I liked The Faculty. The Faculty was excellent.
Faculty was
that's
good.
great.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
My dad took me to go see it in the theater in 1998. That was like the best time. Yeah, The Faculty is like one of my favorite movies. I loved Urban Legend. Did you guys ever see that?
I liked Urban Legends. Yes.
I won't say who it is in case anyone hasn't seen it, but the person who played the killer in Urban Legend deserved a freaking Oscar for it.
Scream 2.
Yeah.
But I think
by the way, I love that they referenced Psycho 2 in Scream 6. I couldn't believe it. That's like one of my favorites.
The only take I disagreed with there, I did not like the new Candyman. I tried. I didn't like it. The original will always be the pinnacle.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I completely agree. I thought I was alone in this. It Follows had an interesting premise, but it was a boring movie.
I was the same way when I saw It Follows. My friend and I saw it, and we got so bored of it that even though we paid for the movie, after 30 minutes, we just booked it and left.
Yeah, it's just like herpes. I mean, it's basically turning herpes into a villain. No, I don't need to see this.
The movies that I actually enjoy, I'm not sure if you guys like them, but I actually enjoyed both Unfriended movies. I like those a lot.
I liked both of them. I thought they were very well done.
I watched
Cam's also a good one.
Oh, that was weird. I watched this movie Missing the other night. Do you guys know that?
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
I was really into it the first half, and then it kind of went off the rails, I thought.
So that's like a semi-sequel to Searching. Did you see Searching?
Yeah, I saw it, but I don't remember anything from it.
Okay.
That's one. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's the one with the guy from Harold and Kumar, isn't it? Right? Is that the Missing?
The Searching. That's Searching. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Searching was interesting. Just I remember seeing crazy rich Asians, and it also makes sense. And there was like, mostly, it was white people and Asian people. But then we go to see Searching, and like it was just jam packed with Asian people. And, like these two Asian guys who are like in their 20s come in. They're like, "Holy crap, we didn't see this coming." I thought it was kind of funny, but it was like a good moment at the same time because you're showing that there's more roles available for Asian people in a mainstream movie as well. I thought that was really nice.
Another good series is the Creep series. You guys see those?
Mm-hmm.
I love those.
I'm waiting for them to do Creep 3.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, very.
I'd like to see that. Very nice.
Awesome. Creep. Dylan said, "I want to watch Cherry Falls." I actually watched that a couple months ago. I wasn't that into it. It got very, very, very chopped down. So it just feels very disjointed, I thought. I know a lot of people like it, though, so it seems I'm kind of alone in that. Daniel, did you guys like Mithrigan?
I haven't seen it. I can't comment on it.
No,
Sorry,
Daniel.
I didn't like it at all. I thought it was... So I went into it with someone that I respect and like agree with his takes usually, and he did a non-spoiler saying, "Oh, it's like the next big horror franchise," and I went and saw it, and I was just like, nothing special to me. I
agree.
Mediocre.
I prefer Annabelle. I prefer the Conjuring. I love the Conjuring.
I prefer Chucky.
Well, Chucky's great too. Don't get me wrong.
Or Dolls from the 80s. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that.
No, my mother collected those Victorian dolls. I can't watch that movie.
Dylan, this is the perfect. Oh my god, I've never heard this. This is a perfect way of putting it. Megan was basically Kid Bop Chucky.
Yeah.
I had a great time watching it. Like we had a really fun night, and then I never thought about it again. So it was fun but forgettable.
Yeah.
Dead Silence is amazing. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Dead Silence with the puppet lady.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I haven't.
Oh, I disagree. I love Wrong Turn. That's
I've never seen Wrong Turn.
Oh, the first two. The second one's actually the best one to me. It's just well done. You got great cast in it. 1 and 2 after that, don't bother. And the reboot I did not like, but if you watch 1 and 2, it's a great time.
Since we're talking horror movies, my favorite of last year, hopefully you guys liked it, Barbarian.
Oh, that
You
was
guys see it?
fantastic.
Oh, I loved it.
That was
So
good.
good. Man, so much fun. Justin Long's character was great. I couldn't figure him out the entire movie. Man, I really like that one.
What'd you think of since we're talking Justin Long? What'd you think of Drag Me to Hell? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was
It
cool.
was cool.
I'm
It was
Typical
a
Sam
unique-
Raimi.
Unique
Typical
ending
Sam-
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I've never seen Wrong Turn, and I've never seen what's that other one called that came out around the same time?
Hills Have Eyes. Well, actually the original came out.
Cabin Fever.
Cabin
I've never
Fever.
seen that either.
Cabin Fever.
By the way, chat, if you guys like my stuff, send us your super chats. Support, join my locals or my Patreon. We do movie nights. We're starting game nights. We do like fun stuff. Subscribe. I love this. We're just like getting all our horror movies in. Has anyone seen Skinamarink? I tried. I don't get it. Everyone was saying how great it is. I try. It's not. This is a figure of speech. Literally nothing happens in it. It's like looking at a phone background for 2 hours.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I can't speak to that, but that's.
But I don't mean nothing happens in the way that like people will say, "Oh, a movie was boring, nothing happens." No, literally, it will be like pitch black, a camera staring at a wall for 20 minutes, and then it turns and shows the other wall, and you're like, "Is that maybe a person? I don't know." And then it'll show the ceiling for the next half hour, and there's spooky noises. What a crock of shit. And I don't believe that anyone actually liked it. I think these people just want to show how fucking artsy they are. Bullshit. There's nobody who made it through that movie.
You know what you should do? You should do a Mikey Peace Theater where you make fun of Skinamarink.
But there's nothing to make fun of. You're just sitting there twiddling your fucking thumbs.
That could be the video.
It's true. Dylan, I'd rather watch a microwave cook popcorn than rewatch the American remake of One Missed Call. Oh, that was terrible. Did you guys ever see that from like the 2000 something? Chat, I was just going to say, I don't know how. Twice? I was just going to say, thank God I didn't see it in a theater. I sat at home where I could press forward every 2 seconds. I don't know how the hell you could see it once in a movie theater. I'd be crawling out of my skin. Dylan needs to see Barbarian and Smile. What did you guys think of Smile? It seems like I'm the only one who didn't like it.
I haven't seen it yet, I'll be honest.
I liked it.
I also haven't seen it, but Barbarian, definitely vouch. Definitely vouch.
Daniel, did you guys like Pearl?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Pearl.
Yeah.
I liked Pearl, but I liked X better.
I thought X was the better horror movie, and Pearl was the better movie.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't really a horror movie, but she deserved, her and Toni Collette in Hereditary both deserve Oscars.
Yeah, Hereditary is good. What's the one with the flowers and the bear?
Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Yeah,
that is so.
yeah.
Anything Ari Aster does, I love. I love Midsummer. I love. Oh God, the other one he did. One with the little girl with her head out the window, smack.
Hereditary, right?
Hereditary.
Yeah.
I think I maybe
I take all kinds of horror really well. The only type I can't do are like extreme exploitation, like Serbian film. I literally got and walked out of.
Have you ever heard of a Serbian film?
No.
I have. I've been warned. I've been warned, so I don't have to suffer the fate that Tracy has.
And I'm a huge fan of like I Spit on Your Grave. It's nowhere near like I Spit on Your. Oh, it's just like I Spit on Your Grave. No, it's not. No, it's truly disturbing. No.
So I had been told about a Serbian film. I wasn't told. All I was told is it is the most disturbing thing. This movie will like take away a piece of your soul. So immediately I start thinking, well, what the fuck could be in it that's so terrible? It's a movie. Like, I couldn't even fathom. The fact that you cannot conceive the things that are in this movie shows that you are human. So I watched it with some friends. I was like, ooh, I heard this is like really fucked up. Let's watch it. They made us shut it off like 20 minutes in, and I think they viewed it as like a reflection of me. Never spoke to me again after that.
Oh my
But they kept saying, because one of them had knew about the things that happened in it, and he was just like, it gets so much worse. It gets so much worse. So then I start thinking, well, how can it get worse? So I had to go and finish it and watch the rest of it. And it got so much worse.
It's okay. You know, I've had a worse experience with the movie. It's one that I recommended. It's a comedy. I recommended Office Space to a coworker early 2000s, and this guy was. I knew he was a preacher, but this is a learning experience for me. He apparently he told like my coworkers that him and his wife turned it off halfway, and they referred to the movie as filth.
Office Space?
I never saw it. Was it filth?
Yes, they said it was very offensive.
They just sound insufferable, like some tight ass bitches.
The guy was. We worked in a store once, and somebody walks in. They go, "Oh, do you know where they sell iPods here?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, try a computer store." Not a really great man of God.
What did you guys think of The Witch?
Oh, I
like that.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that.
I
liked it. It was one of those movies that I liked while I was watching it, and I never thought about it ever again.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Max?
Oh, I said I haven't seen it.
That was all right. So I guess we should probably start wrapping up soon. I want to keep you guys all night. If you guys in the chat send us any remaining super chats, help me be a better grifter.
If somebody donates a super chat, as long as it's, you know, okay, don't say anything racist or anything, I'll read a super chat as Ghostface if somebody wants to donate it. Is that okay? Can we do that?
Hell yes, please do it. We want to hear his Ghostface. Chad says, Max, watch The Witch.
All right, somebody donate a super chat. Come on. Oh boy, I feel like I'm going to ruin this stream by saying that nobody donates and then I make it end on a bummer.
That's all right. We know I'm a bad grifter, so
I wish you were a grifter. I want you to have nice. I want you to have nice things in life.
Me too. Well, we should get to our rankings also. Daniel, should we start with you?
You guys got me?
Gotcha, Dan.
Yeah.
I froze up a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Mike's frozen on my screen.
Oh, damn it. Can you hear me?
Let's see if it bumps. Uh-oh.
Maybe reload.
Uh-oh.
I can hear him just fine.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we see.
Oh.
Can hear you.
I'm back.
Cool.
Okay.
So what is your Scream
rank
rating?
them. Scream 1 first.
Is he frozen now?
Am I back?
Damn it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
You're back.
Okay.
You're keeping us
I'm
in
good.
suspense.
All right. Scream 1, number 1. Scream 2, Scream 6, number 2. I'll go Scream 3, then 2, and then 5 and 4. I'll have 4 left.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Sorry, Mike.
No, I love it. How about you, Tracy?
Number 1 is the original. Number 2 is 6. Number 3 is 2. Number 4 is 3. Number 5 is 4, and number 5 is dead last.
Close to
Ooh.
me, a little bit.
Yeah.
How about you, Max?
Well, I think that 1 and 4 are just about as good as each other. 3 is my next favorite one. 6, it's okay. 5, I really despise that movie more than I despise Sidney Prescott.
I had to say something corny.
So,
And then I
honestly,
forgot 2. I'd probably say 2 was after.
yeah, I thought you left one out.
Yep, there we go. I can't
Where's
count.
2?
I'd say it's after 3. So 1 and 4, I like them the same. 3, and then 2, then 6, then 5.
So yeah, for me, original number 1. That is just a perfect, flawless movie. There is not a single flaw in it. For my second place, 2 and 4 have always been tied for me. I feel like 2 is the objectively better film, but 4 is just the most enjoyable. It's probably the one I rewatch the most. So since it's kind of underrated, I guess I'll say 4 is second, then 2. Earlier this week, I said 6 comes after 2 and 4, but I think I got to put 3 before that. So 1, 4, 2, 3, then 6, then 5.
Okay.
How
There's no
about
such thing as a bad Scream movie.
No, there is not. They are all amazing. Chad said spicy ranking, you guys. Dylan is Scream 2, 1, 4, and 6 switch, 3, then 5. Ben, 3, 4. Ooh, a lot of people, 3 for people I think is either their favorite or least favorite. It's rarely like in the middle.
Three is just it wasn't trying to be anything but what it was, and if you learn to enjoy it, it's kind of like for me, it's kind of like Friday the 13th Part 3. You just have to, take it for what it is and enjoy it. And Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, which is just a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah.
You have to take it for what it is.
If Chad can get stabbed 27 times and come back, Parker fucking Posey can come back.
Like,
she was the best part of that movie.
We have our super chat. Thank you, Daniel.
Okay. I have to read it now.
Take it away, Mr.
Okay.
Face.
Okay, let's give it a try. I wonder if Randy's sister, mom of the twins, will make an appearance in the next film. She wasn't mentioned at all in this by one of her kids.
I don't know if that was my best Ghostface. I gave it my best.
That was good.
Sure?
Thank you so much for the super chat,
Thank
Daniel. So I kind of wanted her to be the killer in 5. I knew she wouldn't be, but
Every time I look at her, all I see is "Welcome to the Dollhouse."
I was gonna say that. This has been a good week for like 80s, 90s kids. Like everyone at the Oscars last night, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
It was like all 80s and 90s people.
I think they shafted Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
I still haven't seen it because I never saw the first one.
You have to watch it.
I like that Tom Cruise. That movie came out 2 years before I was born, and Tom Cruise looks like he's younger than me, and I'm 2 years younger than that movie. What the heck is going on there?
Okay, this is how much of a nerd I am that like maybe a year or two before Scream 5 happened, I was like writing my own, and I wanted to make her the killer, but I couldn't figure out what her motive would be. You know what's weird though? I had a couple things that I had written then that were in Scream 6. I had the shrine, except it would have been at Stu's house, and it was the Stab Museum.
I would love to see Creepy Karen come in and be a killer. Remember Creepy Karen, the one that the one that Randy lost his virginity to at the video store.
I should mention, since you guys are talking to Top Gun, I should say I should have a new video out hopefully tomorrow night. I have a lot of editing to do tonight. Roasting the Oscars with my mom.
Oh.
So that should be out.
Can I confess something about Scream 2?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, when it came out, I was working for Regal Cinemas, and I was an usher and a box office attendant, and I was also a projectionist, and I helped. That was one of the first movies I put together when you still had to piece together a real film. And after it went off, we had that reel around there for like 2 years. The Dimension never sent anybody to pick it up. I took that home.
Good for you.
That home. I have a real film of Scream.
That's nice.
That is awesome.
Amazing. I'm
really
very
cool.
jealous of them.
Have you
The
watched
manager let me. She said, just don't get caught with it. If you get caught with it, you need to bring that bitch back.
Well, the way things are going for Regal now, there might not be a Regal for you to bring it back to.
True.
Oh my god, we need to get a projector
We
and
do.
watch it.
Watch that, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you guys watch the shitty ass Oscars?
No.
What did you think?
Well, I really liked Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was my favorite movie of the year, so I was happy. I was really happy Ki Hu Kwan won. I thought he was great. So I was cool with it. But the production and everything, that's something different. But I was happy with like that movie winning. I really liked that movie.
Yeah, all the people I liked won. I just thought it was like the most boring show they've ever had.
Yeah, it was pretty boring. Yeah.
I didn't see that movie until maybe like a week ago. I was surprised how much I liked it. It was so good.
I love it, man. I really do. It's just Jamie Lee Curtis winning over the daughter, Stephanie Hsu. I didn't get that because I thought Stephanie was her performance was better than Jamie, but maybe they gave it to Jamie because she's Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know.
Yeah,
but whatever. I'm happy for her.
Yeah,
I'm definitely happy.
Yeah, I was happy for her. I wanted the daughter to win, but I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I was happy. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
that was I mean, it was the thing too is I think it was just so quintessentially like an American story too of like the family of immigrants and the change of cultures. You know, you could look at a lot of movies about Italian Americans and see the same story. I'm glad that they like showed it through the experience of Chinese Americans too. You see just the little different quirks, but then you see the commonalities. I thought it was a great American movie. That's the way I saw it. I absolutely loved it.
What did y'all think of Parasite? Have y'all seen Parasite?
I haven't.
I liked it.
I like Parasite.
I liked it, but the whole thing was, you know, they tried to pin the rich family.
Wait a minute, spoiler! Don't say because I've been wanting to watch it.
Oh no, this is not a spoiler. But they tried to make the rich family out to be the villains, but yet these people were living illegally in their basement. You know, they were they were con artists, but yet it was trying to paint capitalism in this really bad light. That's my only conflict with it. But it was a good movie.
That sounds insufferable.
Well, I think that's when you're a true movie fan, is that you can take it on the chin if somebody like, you know, invalidates your worldview, but they make a great movie. I wouldn't say I agree with a lot of stuff I see, but there are movies that it's like, okay, this isn't my point of view, but you did a good job.
Yeah.
I really want to see Triangle of Sadness, even though it's
so do I. Yeah. But I'd say Parasite and Everything Everywhere at Once are my favorite two winners lately. To Best Picture.
I don't even know which ones did they have last year? Or recent? I don't know any other recent ones. I don't think.
Coda won last year.
Yeah.
The Apple TV movie.
That's right.
Yeah. Ben the Beautiful down there, or Ben the Beardful. Sorry. Yes, I love Train to Busan. One of the best zombie movies ever.
That's my favorite zombie movie. My favorite.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so good.
Oh,
that is random, but it's great. Yeah, favorite zombie movie for sure.
Is there a sequel to Train to Busan coming out? I can't remember.
It's called The Plateau.
It's the Peninsula.
Peninsula. I knew it was some body of land.
It's like semi-sequel.
Yeah.
It's in the same world, but not exactly a sequel, but kind of. But yeah, it's okay. But Train to Busan's amazing. It's so good.
I gotta watch it. When is that from?
Let me check.
2017, maybe.
Oh, it's that recent? I don't know why I thought it was older.
It's from South Korea. You can there's two versions. You can get dubbed or with subtitles.
2016. Yep.
Do it.
Yeah. Sometimes my parents, whenever they come to see me, they've always liked certain foreign films, but their eyesight has gone to shit in their older age. So we'll watch these movies that are subtitled, and I'll have to read the captions, and I'll end up having to do the voices to like distinguish between the different characters. So I'm reading the fucking entire movie to them. You Dylan, you liked American Psycho too. Wow. I like that bold opinion with Mila Kunis.
I appreciate that they took a real big swing with that. I may not have really liked the movie, but I appreciate the fact they took a real big swing with it. That's like with Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Most Nightmare on Elm Street people hate that movie, but to me, it's just fun. It's the gay movie. I love it. You know,
it's the gay movie.
And I am gay, so I'll put that out there.
That movie
I
practically
appreciate it as a
gave
gay
me
person.
Yeah, there's some stories about that movie. Oh boy. What was I gonna? I felt kind of embarrassed for the guy who was in. He said that people like his dancing scene. He said that throughout the 80s, people were always playing his dancing scene like on a loop in gay bars.
He was so hot in that movie.
Yeah,
though.
he was.
I'm
but let's be honest, he did play it kind of gay. I mean, that the homoeroticism between him and Grady, and him and Freddy Krueger.
And the coach was the coach.
The
Grady.
coach
Oh God, that was.
I don't think anyone could have played that movie straight, though. By the way, I want to say, Ben, thank you so much. This really means a lot to me because this isn't the sort of stream that I normally do, but I had to for Scream. Y'all have made my work night so enjoyable. Oh, thank you. Also, hey, Jeremy, glad you're here. I think we all know Jason X is the best of the Friday the 13th.
That's one of the best kills ever. The liquid nitrogen kill.
Do you know why that movie was made?
To keep the rights?
Yes, to keep the rights so they could make Freddy versus Jason.
Oh wow!
And they couldn't call it Friday the 13th. That's the reason they had to call it Jason X.
Oh really? Huh.
I got last summer. I got really obsessed with the Friday the 13th game.
Oh, I used to play that game all the time.
Really? Oh my god, we should play it one night.
That was fun. Yeah, it's fun. I like escaping more than being Jason.
I
have
like
more
killing
fun.
him. I like, which I don't think I've ever done successfully, but I like trying to kill him.
Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah.
They're coming out with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited for that. It's the same people who did Friday the 13th.
Should do a
What?
stream
Oh my
game.
God, Daniel! What about Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is gay? Didn't watch it. What about it was not gay? Is the question.
The only thing not gay was the credits.
Yeah.
So they have him in his underwear doing a sexy dance. They have him like getting snapped on his ass with towels. He goes to a leather bar. What else, Tracy?
He gets
He sucks on
down.
Freddy's knife fingers. There's like, he's like in a room. He runs to his best friend's, who's this big jock's bedroom, and says, "Someone's trying to get inside of me, Grady."
me. If I were in the 80s, that would be me.
Oh God. What was I gonna say? Yeah, she nailed it. She got it all down. It makes Brokeback Mountain look like CPAC. It's pretty gay. Well, actually, CPAC is pretty gay.
CPAC is pretty gay. This isn't horror. Ben said this isn't horror. Snowpiercer with Chris Evans is so good. I've never seen that. Is it good?
I agree. Yeah. It's a
I'm
good
putting
one.
that on my to watch list. Night of the Demons was a fantastic movie. Also, I'm going to try and set the watch party for that, Mike. Just preoccupied with movie and drama. Yes, we gotta
That's
do
a
that.
good one.
Dylan, that's been like at the top of my to watch list forever. I've just been slow with stuff. A24 is making a Dead by Daylight movie. I've never really gotten
Oh.
into that game. Have you?
I haven't, but I know it's similar to Friday the 13th. I used to watch it on Twitch. I used to watch people playing it on Twitch. That's cool. Yeah. I'll check that
That's
out.
interesting that it's A24.
Yeah, that is. That's strange. Seems like more like a Blumhouse thing.
Yeah, Blumhouse has kind of gone downhill, I think.
They have. You're right. They definitely have.
There are some scripts they should turn down. That's all I'll say.
Really,
Yeah.
you can say no sometimes.
I mean, the last movie I saw from them was the Forever Purge, which I actually enjoyed because I'm a big fan of the Purge franchise in general. But it certainly wasn't the caliber of the others.
Okay.
You know what I'm really excited for? Blumhouse is doing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie
Oh, nice.
with Matthew Lillard.
Oh, wow.
Well, anyway, we should probably get wrapping up. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but this is so much fun. We need to do it again.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Got
I
it.
had so much fun.
Absolutely.
You guys in the chat, you have to follow all of their channels. They are
Thank you.
amazing. Have you guys got any deep final thoughts?
I think this one guaranteed there'll be at least 2 more movies in the franchise before it disappears. At least 2 more movies.
I could see that.
Which, I don't know.
I'll see you in a sequel, Mike.
Oh, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
Yeah, my final thought. Oh, nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sunspot. Can't wait to watch
Wow.
Scream number 263. The next
Oh wait,
one.
I did promise your chat that I'd read another one as Ghostface.
Oh my God,
That's-
yeah, that's
I
right.
did. I don't know if you saw me put in the chat, so I have to. Let me see.
Can't wait to watch Scream 263.
Oh, you closed it.
Sorry.
Let me start. Let me start with that.
Can't wait to watch Scream number 263. Next one where they die with y'all.
Thank you. You're the best.
You're welcome.
Um,
Help them. Go ahead.
Probably will be the next one where they actually kill characters. Yes, you're one of the bestest human. Aw, you are. Thank you so much, my beloved Scream Queen. Oh my God, you guys keep hitting us with horror movies. It's like this is like Nerd Christmas. Freaky was a funny, stupid movie. I loved it with moments of horror. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it.
It was okay.
It was good.
That's the guy who did that just did some Netflix movie. There's a ghost or something. It was shitty.
Wow.
Max for Ghostface in 7. Yes.
I can't fill those shoes. Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. Have me voice OJ calling, and I can do OJ. Like Ghostface gets a call. It's like, hey, Ghostface, this is yours truly. You aren't doing it right. Just like with all the stabbings and everything. I mean, I'm stealing a Norm Macdonald joke there. There's a Norm Macdonald joke where he says that OJ goes to the movie theater and it's some movie that's a stabbing. Then OJ goes, "You call that a stabbing?"
Well, these people got stabbed more in Scream 6 than OJ's friggin' victims.
Well, no, I think I thought that the court proved that was all a big misunderstanding. That's
Of course.
Yeah.
It was Colombian drug dealers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. This was amazing. Thank you guys for watching. You guys follow them on the Twitter. What are your Twitters?
Oh. Shit, I don't have my browser open.
I'm just at Tracy Barkley.
Yep. I'll put it in there.
I'm at Invaders.
Yes.
One word. Yep.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
We'll do this again soon. All right.
Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.